Hey all, no null here. So in the previous video, I discussed my explanation of the lore of the God Box and the SMGs that would be revealed in my fan-made arc, the VERITAS arc. In this video, I will begin discussing the plot of the arc, going through the first 2 episodes. But first, here's a general overview of this arc. There are 12 episodes in the arc, which would make it the same episode length as the Genesis and Anime arcs. The arc's main protagonists are Mario, of course, and a new character who we'll get onto soon. Bob, Boopkins, Luigi and Terry are also major characters in this arc, as I like the team of Mario, Luigi, Bob and Boopkins, and Terry hasn't had a significant role in an arc since the Luigi arc, which was the first ever arc. Also, unlike the Revelations arc, this would be revealed to be an arc as soon as the second episode, and all episodes will be released consecutively. So if this were a real SMG4 arc, the wait for episodes wouldn't be painfully long. This will also be one of the darker arcs with dark moments, as those are my favorite ones. Alright, so let's get onto the first episode of the arc. SMG4, The Last Spaghetti. Okay, so in this first, seemingly regular standalone episode at the beginning, Mario goes to the fridge at his home, totally not a reference to a certain episode, and realizes there is no spaghetti. He then goes to the supermarket, but learns of a worldwide spaghetti shortage caused by an unknown reason. Being unable to accept this as true, he speeds to the spaghetti factory. But there he finds something tragic. The factory has been pillaged and set on fire. This sight is too tragic for Mario, almost bringing him to tears, so he quickly leaves, and a montage of him checking a variety of places for spaghetti commences, but he finds no spaghetti. He last checks the castle's fridge, which is where Terry, Boopkins and Bob are hanging out. Terry and Boopkins are playing Super Smash each other and the Ass Brothers, while Bob is taking a shit or something, I don't know, don't ask questions. Upon seeing there is no spaghetti, Mario immediately becomes depressed. Terry gets concerned for him, but Bob gives him the terrible advice about going to a bar. Terry protests this, and the two get into a spat about how to cheer up Mario. Meanwhile, Boopkins tells Mario that he is sure there must be some spaghetti left somewhere, and that he'll help Mario find it. However, this doesn't cheer Mario up, so he tries putting the TV on, hoping that will do the trick. The news channel comes on, but it displays something tragic. The cause of the spaghetti shortage is that the world's spaghetti is being stolen on a mass scale by an unidentified, armed group. Hearing this information about an act of atrocity against spaghetti being committed on such a large scale, Mario becomes enraged and swears to put an end to these spaghetti thieves. Mario grabs Bob and Boopkins. Using Bob's shady contacts, Mario, Boopkins and Bob track down a truck of spaghetti, which according to Bob contains the last known supply of spaghetti. After a chase full of shenanigans, the trio finally get onto the truck, which is stashed with crates of spaghetti. However, once inside and after Mario strips and begins to hump all the spaghetti, the trio hear a large bang on top of the truck. A hole is sliced on the top of the truck, and a bunch of soldier-looking people drop in. But these aren't any regular soldiers. Each one of them is wearing a very familiar box on their heads, although something is different about the top. All of them are armed, and their leader is the old man. Just because.
Weren't these idiots disbanded and placed into infinite retention at the college?
No.
All the box soldiers point out their guns. A struggle for control of the truck commences, with the trio quickly beating the old man and the box soldiers. But before Mario can get back to eating that spaghetti, the trio hear an even larger bang on top of the truck. Another box person drops down, but this one seems different. He is wearing a black box on his head, making him stand out from the other box club members. He is also wearing a fancy suit, suggesting he is a butler, as well as wearing a blue scarf. But his most notable feature is a large, menacing looking black and red claw in place of his right hand.
It's you, associate of the false messiah and the devilish guardians. If the mistress willed it so, I'd put an end to you now in the name of the glorious God Box.
The box butler grabs Mario by the neck with his claw and hurls him towards Bob. Bob dodges Mario, who flies outside from the back of the truck. Bob switches out one of his blade hands for an AK-47 and begins firing at the box butler, but he is able to deflect the bullets with his arm. He begins moving towards Bob while deflecting the bullets, and when close enough, he knocks the gun out of Bob's sleeve and punches him out of the truck. He then looks towards the last challenger, Boopkins. Boopkins figuratively shits himself and begins to panic. The box butler initially raises his claw as if about to strike, but then hesitates and lowers his arm. He just gives Boopkins a death stare.
Oh man. Oh, so sad.
As Mario gets up from the road, his eyes meet with the box butler as the truck drives away. The trio return to the castle defeated. Mario becomes distraught again. Terry and Luigi are playing Super Smash each other and the Ass Brothers together, but upon seeing Mario's state they try to comfort him, but to no avail. Mario's depression is so loud that it pulls SMG4 out of his room. Upon hearing why Mario is so upset, SMG4 tells Mario a rumor that there may be a secret spaghetti stash deep underneath the castle that the princess had hidden from Mario. Mario becomes ecstatic and forcibly brings Bob and Boopkins along to the basement to find it. Eventually, after digging to the deepest depths of the castle, the trio do find the safe storing the stash. Only to find that there is a single spaghetti left. Meanwhile, outside the castle, someone is holding a little device that tracks spaghetti, which has the EGAD logo on it. It shows a small blinking dot underneath the castle. It's the old man. But not just him. A whole battalion of box club members are outside the castle. SMG4, The Siege of Peach's Castle. SMG4 is watching a meme on his computer before he is suddenly interrupted by a large shudder and explosion from outside. He looks outside his window to see the castle is completely surrounded by box club members. Multiple of them have giant cannons, which they are firing at the castle. The siege of the castle has begun. Mario, Bob and Boopkins return from the basement, the last spaghetti being held by Boopkins as Mario feared he'd be tempted to eat it immediately, which were fears well founded as he begins pestering Boopkins to give to him. Upon reaching the main room, they are knocked off balance, with Boopkins dropping the last plate of spaghetti, but Mario grabs it before it hits the ground. Terry, Luigi and Boopkins begin to hide in a corner while SMG4 bursts out of his room, asking Mario what the hell is going on, and if this was his fault. Before Mario can claim innocence, Peach also bursts out of the doors to the upstairs. As Peach yells, all the toads in the castle begin manning up their positions, pulling out guns, cannons, and a whole load of shit, and begin to engage the attackers. Peach also makes a call to the kingdom's military. Outside, the old man and some box soldiers make their way towards the front of the castle, but are stopped by a tank which suddenly falls from the sky. Swag and Chris pop out.
Have no fear, citizens, the military is here. Sorry, Princess Peach. The military is a bit short-staffed at the moment.
With help from a bunch of toads from the castle, Swag and Chris begin to push back the box club soldiers with the old man, and soon get him into a vulnerable position. But before they can blow him to smithereens, Their tank begins to be slowly lifted up. The box butler picks up the entire tank with his metal arm and chucks it into the castle's empty moat. He helps the old man up and then begins to walk up to the castle. A bunch of toads exit the castle to fight him, but are easily punched out of the way as they approach him. With no one left to oppose him, the box butler's metal arm begins to glow red and red energy slowly begins coming off of it, as if it is charging up power. Inside the castle, the princess orders a bunch of toads to block off the front door. When he reaches the door, his surroundings are completely red from the light from his arm, and he then strikes at the castle's doors. The entirety of the front of the castle is torn to dust. As the smoke clears, the box butler appears from the smoke and begins to approach Mario.
It's almost worrying that someone of your uniqueness is allowed to reside at the castle of this kingdom's ruler. Mario, fate has brought us together again, it seems. Fortunately, the mistress now requests for your presence, along with that devilish guardian.
Mario panics, but then he suddenly gets a bout of confidence upon looking at what he has the responsibility for to protect. He passes the last spaghetti to Boopkins, telling him to run upstairs. Bob, Terry and Boopkins flee upstairs.
Bye bitches, I'm not messing with that guy.
While Mario, Luigi and SMG4 face off against the box butler.
What are you doing?
Unfortunately, I've currently been told not to disclose that information.
The butler lunges towards Mario, but this time Mario dodges the butler's attempt to grab him, and with this opening he then tries to kick the butler, but the butler quickly uses his metal arm to block the attack, breaking Mario's foot in the process. SMG4 then lunges at the butler to prevent him from attacking the stunned Mario, but he just punches SMG4 away towards the castle's entrance. Luigi rips off his shirt and both the butler and Luigi punch each other's fists, but the butler's metal arm is way stronger, and Luigi is knocked back in the same direction as SMG4, and both are captured by the box soldiers. Before the box butler can get to the stunned Mario, he gets fired at by Chris, causing him to have to use his metal arm to block the bullets, while Swag Master lands in between Mario and the box butler, with his spiked hammer in hand.
This is our thing, boy.
While Swag and the butler duke it out, Mario flees to find the others, while the old man and other box soldiers follow him. He catches up with Bob and Boopkins, and takes back his spaghetti. Suddenly, the old man pops up from underneath the floor and snatches Mario's spaghetti, but Mario punches him, and takes the spaghetti back. But before he can think, the box soldiers arrive. Cue a chase through the castle, where Mario has to also keep the spaghetti safe. Unfortunately for Mario, however, he eventually gets cornered, and so chucks the last spaghetti over to Bob.
I've got you, fam. Don't die on me. You still owe me money from last Thursday.
However, the last spaghetti isn't much safer in Bob's hands either, as both him and Boopkins are eventually surrounded, and the old man pulls a sneak attack on Bob, snatching the spaghetti from him. Miraculously for the duo, an artillery shell from one of the outside guns strike the roof of the room they are in, creating a small opening up above. It's too high for Bob to reach it though.
Boopkins, you little bitch. Promise me you'll become less pathetic. Yeet.
Meanwhile,
You're strong, but your largest flaw is the predictability of your attacks.
Gee, thanks for the compliment.
the box butler raises his arm and is about to strike Swag, but is suddenly stopped.
Oh no!
You have great courage to stand in my way. In recognition of that, I'll spare him. My goal here isn't to kill anyone anyway.
He notices Terra's left arm.
You had your arm taken from you too.
Oh no!
Don't fret, we're only here for Mario and that guardian. We have no business with you.
However, he then notices the old man taking the others away along with Mario and SMG4.
Why are you taking their associates too?
The mistress ordered me to take all of them hostage.
Okay, I'm sorry, but it is what the mistress desires.
He then ties up Terry and takes her with him. However, as the box butler walks towards the truck, he notices something in the corner of his eye. However, he continues on as if he had saw nothing.
What are you doing? What's going on here?
Popcorn, se tatko tora patekon na po, to kensa tora pa krato.
No!